episode 383 of Global from Asia, going up to the mountains in North Thailand, visiting a factory.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
What is up, everyone? Hi, my name is Faith, and I'm still your co-host here in Global from Asia podcast. And of course, we're here with the amazing Mike. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Been a month now in Thailand, and we just saw Andres again, our guest this week, and feeling relaxed. You're also moving around. You're in Manila?
Yes, right now in Manila. I'm just enjoying my time here. It's a rainy season, and there's a lot going on. Just a quick unwind and relaxing would do for the week.
There you go. Enjoy that.
Exactly. And again, after our podcast with Andres, I believe that we have learned a lot from him, from his strategies, his stories, background stories. There's a lot going on. What do you think about our podcast with Andres last time?
I learned, it's kind of fun. What I like about hosting, I learned new things even about the guests. I've known them for years, like 4 years, and I learned some things about him and some business things and history. So there's tons of packed information. Actually, Faith, quite a few people listened to the last show, really are curious about Thailand, are curious about business here, opportunities. So this is one where we're talking about factories. He also shares about logistics and strategies. So I'm excited. Ready to do this?
Absolutely. There's a lot, and we've been getting a lot of comments right now, mainly on Thailand, of course, the cross-border summit, and what's going on with that, with our plan right now. Any updates about it?
Sure. I mean, again, we're first time to do it in Thailand. We tried to do it, but then COVID hit in 2020. So this will be a great one. We're talking to the Thai government. There's like a events department that supports events, especially international events. May on our team helped me get through to them. We had a quick call. I'm going to try to meet them. Just want their support, see what kind of opportunities we can do with them. But we're looking at February rough dates right now because we really want to get it going as soon as possible. I'm so excited for it, have you involved, to get some of our awesome people in our community here together.
Absolutely. Everyone's excited about it. Of course, when it comes to our pandemic and everything, a lot has been declining and everything, but we are always moving forward, and we want to make sure that this cross-border summit will just move forward and we'll make it happen.
We're going to do it.
Negotiable. It's not negotiable.
It's got to happen, no matter what. All right. We can... go ahead.
And I was even thinking, it was just a thought. We were doing our interview with Andres, they were just backpackers in the past.
True.
I remember that with her wife, and now, as you can see, he is a successful seller now. And what do you think about that story? Anything that you want to relate yourself in, or any kind of thoughts that you have about that?
I think maybe after in the blah, blah, blah session, after the interview, we can share some more stories, and I'll share some of my insights after this amazing interview.
I'm super excited about it. And also, of course, again, I believe that you were able to hang out with him.
Yeah, we just had some hot pot. Also, Don came out and some really cool people. And we're meeting again before he goes back to Phuket for lunch. So I'm excited for all of this, and we can share some ideas we've already gotten since after the interview too. After this session, we'll share together. Faith, for those curious, I can share after the interview.
I'm super excited about it. I think that at this point, people would just love to hear what's about this interview that's going to be stuck in their heads, and mainly, of course, learn from Andres' journey when it comes to his brand now in Ekitai, and of course, just mainly you and him connecting more on his brand. And we love everyone to see and hear about this one, about
Great.
it.
Let's tune in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
All right.
And thank you to our sponsor, our returning sponsor, Mercury.com, online bank. Well, it's a real bank, but you can do it totally online for US. Our Blimp program participants are going through this as well. Thank you, Mercury. Travis is great there. He's been on our show. He's been in our events. We're going to have another event where we will have them attending as well. And if you want to get a little bonus for you and us, if you sign up and do some special circumstances, you can go to globalfromasia.com/Mercury. I also have a video tutorial that we use even for the Blimp people. I use the same exact video to learn how to use it. I hope you can check it out. Totally free. Why not? See you there.
Hello, everyone. Today we have a great treat for you. And of course, this kinds of podcast shows reminds us the reason why we even started here from Global from Asia at the beginning. And also we learn from people on the ground in Asia doing cross-border trade and e-commerce. Our guest is one of our business partners, Andres, who is our co-founder of Aki Thai brand, and his wife, and he started while in Chiang Mai. We did this on-site at the factory. Not sure if we can call it a factory per se, but if you want to watch a video blog on this, check it out in the video notes that we have here below. Hello, Andres, how are you?
Hi, Faith. Good to be here with you. How are you doing?
And also,
You look great.
Everything's good here. Very, very happy to see you with Mike there. How's everything? How's the weather there right now in Thailand?
Yeah. It's been non-stop rain, to be honest, but always nice and humid.
Yeah, always hot here. It starts to rain like around, you said like 4 or 5 p.m. It'll just almost like a snap your finger, and it'll just like a switch turned on, and it just starts heavy rain out of nowhere. It's like sunny and then just heavy rain.
Rainy season in Thailand.
I think Faith's dealing with typhoons, right?
Yeah, last time it was signal number 5 here in my location. It was so scary.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, but now, again, super happy to have the both of you here, especially Andres, that we have you now in the show. We get to know you and your brand as well. We'll get here right now. And of course, Andres, just to introduce you, like, I believe you're from Venezuela. How did you end up in Chiang Mai?
So it's a long story, but going back 25 years as a backpacker, I was about 23 at the time. I was traveling alone, and my wife today was traveling on her own too. So we both fell in love with Asia, and one of the things that really caught our attention was, the level of craftsmanship, and just the quality of the crafts and of the clothing, and everything was handmade at the time. And we really fell in love with this. And at some point, maybe 10 years after that, we had this opportunity. We were living in Japan at the time. My wife was a student there, and she collected kimonos, the traditional Japanese dress. And we had a chance to display her kimono collection in a fair in Caracas in Venezuela, and people, we were just opening the suitcases to put them up, and everybody just wanted to buy them, and then we just look at each other and go, whoa, maybe we could start a business with this. So that's how it all started. We started basically collecting crafts and kimonos in Japan, selling them in Venezuela, bringing them, in suitcases at the beginning, and fast forward a few years, maybe 10 years forward, and we were shipping containers from all over Asia. Because we discovered that not only Japan had really treasures, but Thailand, India, Indonesia, Vietnam. So every year we would come for about a month and just discover and explore a different country. And the reason why we ended up in Chiang Mai was because it was the easiest place to do business in Asia, in our experience. And it was a safe place. It was fairly inexpensive. And the variety and the level of the craftsmanship and the products was amazing, really. So that's why, in the end, we chose to move here. We can talk about that forward, I think, later in the interview if you want to know more. But eventually we closed down our business in Venezuela, and we decided to move to Thailand because it was, for us, the best place to live of all the ones we visited.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I still stand by that decision 8 years later.
Great.
Yeah.
I learned some things just now. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. I mean, you were able to venture out, mainly not only Venezuela. You have this potential, this mindset. I think we can make this as a business. We can make it there, and then you saw it here in Chiang Mai as a great opportunity to start everything up, right?
Yeah. So after we closed down our business in Venezuela, which was a brick and mortar business, really, it was more like a distributor. We were distributors of crafts to smaller shops, and we would do trade shows there. When we moved here in 2000, so that was 8 years ago. That's 2014. We really didn't know what to do, so we started exploring. We never sold online before. And we started exploring what could we do with all this knowledge that we had. And we tried to set up a website and it didn't work out. So we ended up with the Amazon business that we now have and that we can talk more.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome.
Yeah, so that was more or less how we ended up here doing what we're doing and why we're here today in this factory.
It's really fun. We have a video version for people on the video, and you can see, and we're really here. There's like different people on a team right behind us taking, these are beads behind us. I showed Faith before, but they're like raw materials right here on the ground.
Well, I can really say that as well. There's a lot of beads and going on. And again, I think people would want to learn more how you do the craft things and everything. And I mean, we will get there. But just to ask you as well, how did you and your wife, of course, start Akitai?
Yeah, so we started actually, in the very beginning, it was because it all started in Japan, as I told you. The original name was Irashai, which Irashai means welcome in Japanese. Because we started the business there, and the Venezuelan people went crazy about the Japanese crafts. It was originally focused around Japan, and the brand was a Japanese name. Once we started expanding, because Japanese crafts and the products in Japan in general are more expensive, and as the economy in Venezuela went down and people had less cash really to buy more expensive products or crafts, then we started traveling to India, to Thailand, and then we started thinking that we wanted to change the name of the brand because it was not really focused in Japan anymore. And Akitai is actually the name of a shell in Japan. What this shell that it's like, it looks like a cone. That's called Akitai. But then it has the ending of Thai, which refers to Thailand. So to a certain extent, it evokes Thailand. And my wife is called Raki. So it's almost like Raki in Thailand, but it's Japanese. So anyways, and our friends like it, and they thought that it was a cool name for a brand. So yeah, in the end, that's how the name came into fruition. But as for the brand, well, once we decided that we wanted an Amazon business, we did started thinking more seriously about looking to building a brand and finding the right name, etc. And then eventually we registered the brand, and we have a concept. And thanks to our partnership now, there is a vision behind it. So that's more. I don't know if I answered your question. I hope I did. That's more or less how it came to life. Yeah.
That sounds great. Do you want to add something up, Mike? Since I believe so that you're also doing Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've been with Andres, for a couple of days now, and I'm getting some good tips on tidbits about the story, even on our interview right now. I didn't know. Well, it's great. It's great. The name and the story. But we've been chatting because even people asking, how do you make a brand, right? We've had a couple conversations in the last couple of days, but that's the rate. I like this. It's like a unique name, right? It has a few different relationships about your wife's name. It has a meaning of the shell. I think even in the logo, doesn't it have? I know it's a flower, but I feel like there's a shell.
Originally, it was going to be a shell. It was going to be that shell. Shell. But eventually it changed. It turned a little bit more into a flowery brand. So that's why you see the flowers all over the place. What else can I say? Yeah, so I think the fact that since we started, we really wanted to build a brand and not just sell products. And this is something that I remember in the first meetups where we met, because we met in Chiang Mai in the Amazon meetups here, and I remember most of the guys that or girls that show up, they had this idea of selling one product, but I really always wanted to build something beyond one product, because then that's where the value is in the long term, So yes, it takes longer, it takes more effort and everything, but hopefully you will see the rewards over time, right? Yeah. So that's the idea. Yeah.
I think that gets into one of the upcoming questions, right, Faith? I'm pretty excited.
Me too. But I think so. This is the best question that we have, since that a lot of people might be asking, how did you and Mike meet?
Yeah, so I don't know if it was you who started the meetups.
I can't. I wish I could say I started, but they were. It was a common friend that had been doing those already.
So at the time, before COVID, I guess we're talking about 2018 or something. Chiang Mai in the north of Thailand was like a hot place for travelers, for digital nomads, backpackers, young people, and everybody was there. And someone came up with these meetups of Amazon sellers. And I mean, Mike was already a successful guy, and he had a lot of experience by then. And
I think they passed it off to the guy running it left Chiang Mai or got burnt out, and he was saying it's open source, people can just host these meetups. Yeah. It was at Hub 53 co-working, remember? And so I would be a regular and organizer, and Ivan.
Yeah, so in the end, I was struggling, how to learn how to sell online, because I never had that experience. And I was above 40, so it wasn't that easy for me. And so I would go to these meetings, and Mike was always really willing to help everyone, really. So I guess we kind of clicked at that point. And I hope that Mike realized that I was not really willing to quit this thing that easily. Yeah, so in the end, we've stuck to the original project, and we've gone through problems, ups and downs. But I think by now we can talk about that later. But anyways, those meetups really opened my mind to the possibilities that Amazon really offered, and that there were all these tools and all these people doing this. That I was not crazy to come up with this idea, and that a lot of other people were doing well. So here we are. We're still on the path 5 years after. Yeah.
And then COVID, I was in China, and then we were chatting, and we evolved over time, our relationship and the team. Faith knows our team. But a lot of people just know the hosts like Faith or I or some of the others in the team like Aubrey. But we have a great team, and it's been really great to work together, and we want to scale, because we want to scale the brand. We believe in the brand.
In the early stages, I would just come out to Mike in the meetups and ask him questions and stuff. And then later, we hired one of the company for a consultancy. And after a few ups and downs, eventually, Mike accepted the possibility of considering a partnership, because, the business obviously has potential, but you need a team. Once you start growing, you need a team. And I was doing this thing with my wife first, and then solo, like my wife left. She's too busy with a full-time job. So she's like, no, you do that if you want to keep it. And so then, this is why this working together now with Mike and all of you guys, it's really given a lot of oxygen to this small venture.
Yeah. And even today, the last few days we've been here on site, we've been really working on scaling, adding new products, increase the packaging, some different marketing initiatives and things. So it's exciting times, which we can talk about more.
Absolutely. Super excited. And of course, the team are always ready to help you venture out and help you promote every single thing. And we're very happy that we get to work with you as well. And I believe, and also, yes, Amazon is a good one for you. I believe that you're doing more success on that with the help of Mike as well. And again, hearing that you're doing partnerships and everything, well, it's always a good news for everyone. But I think I would love to ask as well, how did you find the factory that you are in now?
Yeah, so after coming to Asia for really decades, and going all over the place to all kinds of factories, and then having moved here 8 years ago, it's not that complicated really to jump on rent a car or whatever, or you have a car, and then drive and then look for who is the manufacturer behind these bags that they are sold in that market, but you never been to the factory because it was too far away from the Bangkok market or something. Once you live here, you eventually can take the time to explore, to ask the people that do the retail in the markets, and eventually they will share with you who is manufacturing, because they see that at some point they can't really supply what you're looking for, and they probably your friends after so many years of buying little quantities from them, and so people eventually help you out. And this is how we ended up here, and also finding how they make certain indigo dyes in all other remote areas of Thailand, or the Hmong silver jewelry, which is also very famous. So there's a lot of crafts and a lot of smaller factories spread throughout northern Thailand that anybody would be surprised to even consider that they exist where they are located. But with time and effort, you eventually make it. Yeah. So, and it's been we've been working together with this factory for at least seven years or so. Yeah. So yeah, they're friends now.
Well, that's a pretty long time. And I think, well, that's where we build everything. We build an empire. Like, I totally understand that. And at the same time, you get the hang of this factory that you're in now. It gives you a bigger value every single time. But, of course, there's a lot of comparisons a lot of times. Why not a Chinese factory? And many buy products from China. We know that. And what's the reason you picked and as well as stuck in Thailand factories?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and actually a question that a lot of people
Yeah,
ask.
I mean, they ask.
There are two main reasons, I would say. The first reason is that once you start, let's say, going to the meetups that we had in Chiang Mai with the Amazon sellers, you start hearing stories about factories copying the products of the sellers, or employees of the factories that actually were replicating whatever you were selling. So we wanted to stay away from that possibility, to minimize it as much as possible. That was one reason. And the other reason, which I think is really more important, is that we always wanted to contribute to the artisans, that made all these products. Most of the products that we always sold are handmade or made in very small factories or family-owned factories. And we never really wanted to substitute that by industrial China, because it's just, the vision behind this is to contribute to the handmade products, to the families that make these products. That was always part of the idea, and that's one of the reasons why we also stuck to Thailand. I would say that the final reason was that after COVID, it was very hard to work with Chinese factories, because I am related to Chinese manufacturing in another job that I do, and I know how hard and how expensive it was to get products out of China during COVID, and even now, right? Because now still there is a zero COVID policy, and a lot of factories are not back to work. So once that happened and we saw what was the policy of the Chinese government, that sort of confirmed that it was a good idea to remain producing here. We have already an established relationship with many of our suppliers for many years. We consider some of them are friends, and we want to support them. It's just as the same way they have supported us. So that's the reason.
Yeah, and I could add, it's part of the brand. It says made in Thailand. I think even the feeling of the brand style, right? And actually, when I've been here, it's my first time here at the factory, and we've been doing some video, which you mentioned. People can watch the video clips. We'll put on show notes, but it's women run. It's women owned, women run here, and it's like supporting the whole, not the whole, I don't want to say the whole area, but supporting. Actually, they've distributed the work to homes. Actually, Faith, I think you would like it.
It's kind of like cooperative style.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
So they sometimes women will come to this factory and they're producing it at their homes, and then they'll take the finished goods back here to be checked and paid. I think, I'm not exactly sure, but they bring it back here and they say, I finished these necklaces. Okay, how many? Yes. Okay, confirmed. Pay. It's really a cool thing to see, and I think it's like we talked earlier about branding and vision. That's part of the brand.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's not the only factory that works this way. You know, we have worked before in the past with bag manufacturers, and this is the way they run it. You know, they'll take it to a village, they will distribute it among the villagers, then they bring the finished goods to whoever is doing you're dealing with, and that's how they produce. So, you know, not the whole village, but many people in a village can get involved thanks to this. And, you know, it's obviously an extra income that they rely on, and they can do it at home, look after their children, be with the children at home. So, you know, there are many good aspects to it, and we want to contribute to that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's pretty great. There's a lot of opportunity, especially for example, moms and everything. And again, having to hear from Mike, I mean, female, well, as you can see, there's a lot of things that's happening, and they're helping you as well with your brand. But of course, I think there's a lot going on through this year, 7 years that they are in the factory. How has the brand and business evolved for you right now?
Do we want to squeeze in some of those school of hard knocks about legal? I know we were prepping for this a little bit, and Faith, it's not in our show notes. Maybe we just hit that. Do you want to hit that first?
Yeah, so well, I'll give the intro and then Mike can add. But as I explained before, this was pretty much like a brick and mortar, you know, business in the beginning. Once we moved into Thailand, we decided to make it an online business. Then after trying a few things like websites, Etsy, blah, 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 we narrowed it down to Amazon, because it was really less labor intensive on us as solopreneurs. And eventually, we got, you know, I have to say I got stuck. I got to a place where for multiple reasons, I just couldn't really move forward. One of those reasons was that we got sued for trademark violations in the States. So, you know, after reaching a 6-figure turnover, which was good in 2020, you know, and then I had hopes like, okay, now is the time to scale up. We got really hammered by this lawsuit. And that was when I was starting to work with Michael, you know, and then I was like, Michael, man, I can't hire you anymore, your services, because I have to deal with this lawsuit. It didn't cost that much in terms of money, but it froze our Amazon account. You know, we couldn't withdraw money for several months, I think like half a year. So that means that, well, should I keep sending inventory to Amazon? You know, I don't know when this is going to be over, and I have to pay lawyers and I have to pay this. Well, in the end, you know, we managed to survive. Let's say the business was badly wounded, you know, in 2021, and we had to basically wait for Christmas to sort of recover. And then I reached out for Mike, like, Mike, now is the time, you know, are you guys really willing to work together? Let's now scale up. Here are the numbers. You can see that the product sale, but we need help marketing because it's too much work, and there are risks, right, involved. So we had to struggle through COVID, with supply chain issues, lack of materials, then lawsuits. So now I think we are at a stage where I guess we have matured by force, kind of thing, and we know, you know, where to go, where not to go, and what works. So I think now we've sort of teamed together because we know that we can scale this thing with the experiences we've had in the past and the knowledge and the team you guys have. So
yeah, I mean, just to like add a little bit of learning from the lawyer stuff, you know, Amazon, it's not just with this case. Actually, a lot of lawyers, they're running, I think it's AI or bots across Amazon. There might be, maybe there's some lawyer podcast where they teach them how to do that we don't know about, but they hit other friends and people in our community have been hit too, where they look for like sensitive keywords or even images that are copyrighted by these. It's not even really the original
certain corporations that own the trademarks.
They own like famous people's names. They own old trademarks or old keywords, and then they just sue. They freeze your Amazon account and sue you, and they go across. We don't know, hundreds of sellers. And then they just hit you up for money, and they don't let you get your Amazon account back until you pay them. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's happened quite a few times in my experience with people. So yeah, that was really horrible. And sometimes, you know, it's just, I mean, it's part of the dangers, I think, of, you know, Web 2 we talk about crypto. Actually, Andres likes crypto too, and what Web3 represents, because Web2 is like, it's too centrally controlled. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but yeah, I mean, there are these, maybe there's some true cases where it's needed, but I feel like a lot of times this stuff's overdone and it hurts small business owners like us.
Yeah, so we do have to do we did research actually when we sold whatever we sold. We have done some preliminary research on trademarks and copyrights, but I guess reality in the end showed that you can omit things, make mistakes, and eventually they can come back to you. And this is what happened to us. It was not on purpose at all.
Yeah.
But once your account is frozen, you have to negotiate. You have to go through the whole grinding thing of a lawsuit. And well, I guess some sellers will abandon their listings or lose whatever they have. But we really didn't. We have put enough effort on this that we were not willing to just give it away. So it was a hard time, but now here we are with new hopes for the future.
Yeah, I think the lesson is also you can negotiate. You can negotiate with the lawyers. They're probably just trying to get as much money for their clients across as many accounts as they can. So, just some tips for some other sellers or people listening. You can get.
Don't be shy to negotiate, for sure. I mean, be honest
shy,
about what you earn and what you can afford to pay based on what you have sold that product, because they can come up with ridiculous amounts and that will scare you. But once you show them, listen, I sold this product for 6 months and this is how much I sold. How can I afford to pay you what you're asking? They, at least in the experience we had, they are willing to negotiate and accept a fairer compensation, a lower compensation for the infringement.
And the last part of this point is, it's not just words, it's images. So they sometimes people just download a Google image. Sometimes it's not even, actually, I don't think it was Andres. Obviously, it wasn't Andres himself. It's sometimes people on, hopefully it's never our team.
Or designers.
The designer, the person on Upwork, on Fiverr.
Yeah, correct.
You pay them $10 to make this design. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to defend copyright infringement or trademark infringement, but you just got to be very careful. I beg our team often, please just don't try to save money on using like a paid photo website, or also don't be lazy. Don't go to Google. I know it's easy to go to Google Images, but don't use the Google image on, especially an Amazon listing, a product listing, or a product itself. Some people actually did it in the product itself. They put an image, and these AI now can find this stuff, especially on Amazon. So just be careful, and don't cut corners, or somehow try to make sure your team knows to not do this either, because they don't know. They might not know.
Yeah. So to recap, we went from a personal seller account to a professional seller account to a registered brand to a brand store, and now we have a website. So it's really cool to see how it's evolved over time, and what is more to come, hopefully, right?
Exactly. And super happy to hear that, although that you were able to, face the situations. Again, this could be a great building journey for you as an entrepreneur, mainly, and also for the ones that for our listeners and viewers that does Amazon as well. Well, this is a great inspiration. Everyone, just do your very best and everything will just prosper over time. And of course, I want to tap into the logistics from Thailand. And what is the way you are fulfilling the orders, sending to Amazon FBA or C? Well, we'd love to learn the process and just to get any pointers from you.
So at the beginning, we were doing our own fulfillment, and I remember I was going to the post office very often. I had a job, and we would do the packing in the morning, then stop in the post office, then sometimes go at lunchtime to my house to pack, and then we'd stop to the post office again. So we did that for a few months, and then we obviously realized that, number one, it was like exhausting. Number two, it wasn't the best for customers, because customers are used to fulfilled by Amazon and they can get their one-day shipment, or I don't know if it's same day today. So then we shifted to Amazon FBA, and so it's not really that complicated, because the good thing in our specific industry is that we deal with small products, so that means we can put hundreds of items or thousands of items in a box, which lowers the price per unit, the shipping cost per unit. So we just ship by air, we just ship by air. So here Mike's going to show you.
I mean, and I know it's actually still a lot of people listen to the show, but if you're watching, this is packaging.
Yeah, so that is
so it's like
of our bulk. Yeah.
So this is where it goes, and then it opens up, and you put the necklace, or actually for right now it's earrings and bracelets. We're working on necklaces now and some other, but try to use the same packaging is a good tip.
Yeah, so we've managed to basically make our own boxes here, broker a deal with a courier like DHL or FedEx or whatever you have nearby, and usually if you work at least with small boxes or packaging, it's not that as expensive as people would imagine, shipping by air. And we've been doing it for 5 years, and we ship pretty much on a weekly basis, and so far it's working. Yeah, and again, if we go back to the the analysis over COVID times and everything, it was actually very good, because shipping by sea became so expensive that it wasn't even worth it, I think, considering at some point. So we just stuck to our air shipments, and we continue to work like that. Yeah.
Well, super happy that everything's working well with you now when it comes to air shipment. Well, of course, there's some upgrades that we are making, building off Amazon content, investing in storefront branding. We want to hear your growth strategy.
If you want to start, I could add some points.
Yeah, so I mean, thanks to our partnership, now we're more active in social media, something that we just really didn't do that much because it was too much really for one or two people to handle it all. So that's that, and that is helping, of course, drive traffic to the listings, right, in Amazon. Also building the website, which we did we did have a Shopify store, but now it looks a lot better with a professional team of designers and marketers behind it. And that also obviously adds to the traffic that we're receiving and the sales increase in our Amazon listings. What else can we say now?
So we did, like when we came to this factory, I guess we can say some names. Faith Note, actually, we love Faith, still new. I'd love her to give us some tips. She's great at social media marketing. I don't think she's gotten yet involved with Akatai, but Anne, our marketing manager, she did some product research.
Yeah.
We made a lot of product research before we came to the factory. We made photos, we got keywords. We came up with couple new product lines that we want to add. We're working on improving the shipping flow, maybe. We're talking about that.
Yeah, and no, it's going to be super interesting to see, for example, that, what's the difference between launching a product when I did it basically on my own, and for everybody here who is listening, some of the products made me lose money. They never sold. And obviously you keep over time whatever works better. But now I'm really interested to see how it's going to be the launch of the new products with this infrastructure in place, right? Because I'm really excited to see how this is going to work now. So it's different, right? If you have a website, if you have social media, than if you don't.
Yep.
So
we're building out the email list too, which is getting there. And social media, it's a lot. There's a lot to it here. Yeah, Faith sees it too behind the scenes. So there's a lot to it. But yeah, I'm excited as well. And also going into the fourth quarter, and we're trying to get some new products in.
So I know we have a blog, and there is content that is being published, and there are emails that are sent. So there's a lot of activity now happening. So I'm very happy about it to see that it's picking up after so many years.
I agree. And of course, again, marketing branding plays a big role in different businesses, especially for Amazon listings and everything. We totally agree. And of course, not only that, the reason why we are doing all of this, we want to give value to the customers who is buying our products. What do we get? What do they get from your product? Something interesting and everything. We just want to make sure that we put you out in the best way possible. Of course, it's only like that. And of course, I want to tap in as well. What are some of the advantages of you working in Thailand?
I mean, I could take some of that. I mean, we covered a little bit throughout the show, but the shipping, there is some advantage of doing small air shipments here compared to China. Ocean's not as nice though. Oh, luckily we're not doing ocean right now. But I do feel like the creativity. I don't think I've been to Chinese factories. I just came from China and we're so surprised. We came here, we had some ideas, some concepts. They're making samples right on the spot. They're innovating. I think Thai people are very creative.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, man. That's a really good point, and I was not going to say that. I mean, I can only say that, at least in our experience, they're very focused about how to satisfy you as a customer. They're very, generally speaking, our experience here has been that they're quite friendly and they want to really work hard to make you feel that you're getting, what you're paying for. I think it's a stable country, and this from many points of view, and also there is one thing that is actually very positive, that now with the strength of the US dollar, if you sell in the US market and you sell in dollars and you're buying in Thai baht, then that is very helpful for smaller businesses, because the exchange rate really works out in your favor. There are other things, like for example, from a visa point of view, it's not that complicated compared to other countries to get a visa or to stay here legally. And the last thing that I would say is that there has been, since I live here, a little inflation, and the inflation that I have seen has been mostly in the last year because of the global phenomenon, right? Where energy shortages, so the gas is going up and the food prices are going up. But really, in 20 years that I've been coming to this country, it's the first time, maybe the last couple of years, is when I've seen the prices go up. So I guess that's quite a long list of pluses for being here. But then also Mike talked about the creativity, which I haven't thought about it compared to China, because I don't manufacture that much in China. But yeah, it's true. I mean, at least he's seen it first.
I mean, they're making a spec sheet. Yeah. I think you'll see in our video clip, they actually take the measurements. They're making like a blueprint. I don't know. I just feel like, again, I have Chinese friends. My wife is Chinese. I don't want to offend Chinese people, but they usually need a little bit more. You got to give them every single spec and outline and detail of what you want. Where I've noticed here, they're making really positive suggestions on the product.
Well, yep, I think as I can see, both of you are really enjoying doing business there in Thailand. And I believe so our listeners and also viewers will love to see a video tour at your factory. Well, we'll link it here in this video, and I hope everyone will enjoy what's really happening behind the scenes in your factory for Aki Thai.
Sure. Yeah, we had a full couple of days here. So, we actually, Andres drove. I didn't drive. He drives. I should drive. My wife drives. I don't. But yeah, we take you from the drive from the airport where he came from Phuket, and we drove up here 4 hours, and then the views and some of the pit stops, and then we show. Yeah, we're trying to be so open. I know Amazon sellers are nervous to show, but we want to show you what we're doing, and it's been it's
a beautiful drive to come up here. It's a pleasure, to travel in this country. So that's another reason why I love to just try to build everything I can here. Because if I have to drive 4 hours to the north or to the south, I know the landscape is amazing, the food is amazing, and for the most part, the people can really be amazing too. Yeah, the only difficulty, the language, but fortunately, many Thais speak decent level of English, so we do business in English here.
It's pretty great. Well, I believe people will be very excited to see what more you can do in your brand, and of course with partnership with Mike. Well, we'll surely help you every single time that we need to, and if you need our help, we'll always help you. Just put your brand out there and making more big success in your business for Aki Thai.
Thank you very much, Faith. Really thankful to see what comes out very soon.
Absolutely. Everyone's working for it.
Thank you. Kopung kap, like they say here.
Okay, that's a wrap. That was fun. Wow. I know, Faith, I have a lot of fun having you with us on the show. Thanks again. It's cool, and get some new energy here.
Absolutely. I was so happy doing this interview with Andres. We were learning a lot, and honestly, when it comes about hearing his journey, how he ventured the business era, just all about, it was all in a simple crafting, simple passion, and making it into a bigger story, bigger picture. And look where he is, where he's at now. And I think at this point, he would just love to share how to get there, be a coach, be a mentor to everyone as well, or anyone could be really be inspired about his story, I believe. So what do you think?
For sure. I mean, like you said, it was backpackers. They found their passion. What I always say is he took action, like starting small, starting with something he liked to do, working with his wife, building it out, trying offline, right? He had stores in Venezuela, his home country, he was buying from Japan, kept evolving, found a place, maybe found Thailand was more suitable for him, and kept on chipping away. And also hasn't given up. There's been a few obstacles like we shared about, but that's what separates, I think, success from not is continuing to check in, continuing to keep on chipping away, and then you build out this empire like Andres has done.
Yeah, I totally agree on that area. And I think a lot of our viewers, just in my opinion, a lot of our viewers and even listeners, I really want to tap into more detail, more information that you will be able to give them advice on when it comes to choosing Thailand factories. Any more inputs that you want to give in?
Sure, I'm kind of still new to that. Honestly, we're working. I don't even know if you know Faith. We're doing so many things, but May on our team, well, maybe we'll have her share sometimes. She's local Thai. We found a database of factories and from the government. There's government databases, and we've been cleaning it up. But she's even been telling me, a lot of times Thailand factories don't want to register publicly as a factory because of different taxes. They register as a different type of company, or this is different. But for me, I usually look for relationships. Also, like Andres, he through referrals, through connections. I mean, obviously, it's hard if you're not here for those kind of things, but also just going to the trade markets. There's some small markets. I actually we want to do some more like even business trips. Maybe we can do a smaller trip where people can go with us potentially and see these factories, booths in different parts, a lot in Bangkok. But actually, my favorite hack, Faith, I don't like to share it too much. I usually do these in paid workshops, but
Yeah.
you can reverse engineer your competitors if they import into the US.
Yeah.
The US since September 11th, Patriot Act, they have to declare publicly their import and exporter of records.
Yeah.
So if you find a competitor that you like their products, there's tools that show who they bought from. So you can, yeah, Import Genius is one. I'm dropping some really valuable.
You need to take
Usually,
note, everyone. This
yeah.
is a good deal for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is usually something I do on consulting or workshops. But yeah, then you actually that's how I found one of the factories in Thailand. I didn't even know they bought from Thailand. I thought that the competitor was buying from China. It
Wow.
led me to Thailand back in 2011 or so. So sometimes you can reverse engineer your competitors rather than just starting from scratch on a trade website in Asia. You could start from your competitors looking up the import export records in US databases. So there's a lot of little tricks and
Techniques, I think so. Yeah. And again, it would always be something when it comes to business, work smarter. I believe so. We totally agree on that.
exactly.
And of course, I think, of course, when it comes to logistics as well, Allah will be asking why Thailand? What brings Thailand into a brighter picture in your eyes, just to pick when it comes to logistics? What are your inputs about this one?
Yeah, well, I don't even know if Andres would say it got lucky maybe during COVID because it wasn't as strict of a lockdowns or long of a lockdowns as in China. So that actually became an advantage. But actually, China's still better in logistics because there's higher volume. I think as Thailand, Philippines, other Southeast Asia countries, Vietnam, as volume picks up in Southeast Asia, prices will come down. So I can't really say there's huge advantages of logistics in Thailand, but there is, of course, less potential risks of lockdowns now,
Yeah.
especially. And there's also, you know, it's more concentrated in the south, although in China a lot is in the south, but it's also spread out in Ningbo and in the center and even a little bit in the north. So you can have most of your logistics is in the Bangkok hub.
And of course, you were able to tell me also about the lockdown. How's the lockdown situation there in Thailand right now? How's that look?
I mean, I don't think there's any right now. I'm not sure about in Philippines, but so far right now there's nothing. Yeah, I don't know about you. Do you wear a mask outside? A lot of the Thai
We
people wear
still
masks.
wear it.
You
I
still wear one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I guess
able
it's safer.
to experience the time that everyone wears PPE. It's like
Hmm.
you're doing fencing. It's so funny.
It is.
Everyone was using that, especially when it comes to hospitals and everything. It was pretty massive, pretty massive when it comes to that area. But happy that at this point right now, you're now doing well when it comes to the COVID situation. And I think when it comes to this part, there's a lot more coming in. Do you have anything more that you want to share everyone that they might be wanting to hear from you very soon?
Yeah, I
Any
mean,
plans?
I think we'll have more. We're maybe gonna try to do the show more often now, now. But there's a lot of more content about, Southeast Asia and factories. There's huge stuff happening. I hope to get to Bangkok maybe in a week or two. There's some pretty cool people we'll meet. We'll try to interview, but lots more to come. So as always, subscribe and stay tuned for more updates.
That's exactly the main point. And what is the feeling doing the video tour in his factory, in Andres factory in Akitai? Was it fun? A lot
Yeah,
to learn?
well, it's really nice. The owner there's a couple of local Thai women, and they're very accommodating. I don't know if I really want to say, but they let us stay at the factory. We stayed in a spare room. I
Wow.
mean, we were willing to stay in a hotel. Obviously, prices, especially far out, is not the amount. But it was more about the hospitability. Even I'm messing that word up, but very hospitable.
Yeah.
And man, we didn't know what we ate at their factory every day. Actually, if people check out Mike's blog, my personal video blog, I did behind the scenes, and the fish it was like as big as my two hands, like here, and it was very good and very healthy.
Yeah.
And they're also so really polite and but also having fun. There was parrots there. There were dogs running around. There was kids coming in and out after school, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. They're really nice people.
Yeah, we were seeing a lot of things as well there, and I hope everyone will love to view that as well. The tour that we have in the Akitai factory, and again, there's a lot of beads, there's a lot of everything. Everyone was just working there, just everything, right? And at this point, I know everyone would be very curious to also get to know more about Andres. Well, you know where to catch Andres, you know his brand, and of course, let's support his brand. And it would be a great help with him as well. And of course, that's with since that we are working with Andres. Well, we are just here to help you, Andres, and we are excited for more business ventures with you.
I love it. Yeah, he's super cool. I hope you can meet him soon. Yeah, at the event. That's my favorite part about events is we bring
Yeah.
everybody together. Andres is excited to come. We even met at some meetups, as you mentioned, and yeah, we're getting back on track for the offline events soon. So I can't wait.
Super excited about it. I think everyone is excited as well, especially the team, and just looking forward about this one, the retreat, every
Yeah, the
single
retreat, December.
thing. We are
Can't
going to
wait.
Tagaytay, I believe so.
Yeah, Tagatai, the volcano in a volcano, right? It'll be a great
Super
one.
excited about it. Well, it will be my first time meeting you. Well, it
Yeah,
will be a pleasure to meet you
yeah, I'm looking forward
personally.
to it. I can't wait.
Me too. And also meeting the whole team. Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody. It'll be a great experience. We're gonna have action-packed time and might even do a small meetup for GFA potentially. I know probably don't have enough time to prepare, but thinking about coming early and then maybe doing some workshops, talking to Jeanette, our consultant, and maybe do some more for the local community. But of course, people around the world are welcome to come, but maybe just like a 1 day workshop or something. Maybe Faith, I don't know if you knew about that idea, but maybe we could talk about that
Yeah,
too.
I love that. And also, I was even thinking since we already have our team in this retreat, why not have a quick special episode with the team?
True.
What do
There
you
we
think about
go.
that?
I love it. I love it. I'm
I
down.
love that. Just talking about strategies, planning, how we do, it's just authenticity, everything that we do when we help any kind of brand that works with us. Again, we are so happy to have all of our clients right now, especially here with Andres. He's been doing a lot better right now when it comes to the social media presence and everything. And it's because of you, Mike, with your help as well. And we thank you for always being here to guide the team and of course, Andres as well.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Faith. They're really great. So, all right, I think we can wrap up for today. And I'm looking forward to we'll have more shows coming very soon. Gonna get this whole schedule up.
Absolutely. And we'll be happy to see everyone and listen. And of course, please do wait for our future podcast. There's a lot coming in. We are moving a lot more this month. It's already October. There's a lot coming in. Please do wait for our upcoming guests. And I believe so. You're gonna enjoy.
It's gonna be great.
Future. Exactly. And super excited about it. Well, you know where to catch Mike. He has his own blog. Let's support him as well. And you know where to get our socials. It's always here in our description. And again, we are so happy to always have you in our show. We look forward to seeing you again. Everyone, have a good rest of your day.
See y'all later.
See ya.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.